Can't do it.
Now, does that make me evil?
Yes.
Really?
You fall from the Christian ideology.
I can't forgive them for that.
Can't do it.
I can't forgive a child molester. I can't do it.
Can't do it, no. I saw a man who killed there was a man that had a girl in a basement that had taken out her whole family and put them up in a 120-year-old tree and murdered them. You can find all this online. Anyway, this man is, alive, and all of these people are dead.
The guy who shot everybody in Tucson a few weeks ago, I actually got an email from a woman when I called him a sicko wacko, and she admonished me for it. She chased me for it. She said, how could you do that to him? He has a life. He's a human. And I'm saying, I can't forgive that.
No. He shot down a little girl.
Yeah.
And he did it. The mental insanity can only go so far.
Look, almost anybody who kills like that is nuts.
Not necessarily.
But they're not to the point where they shouldn't be punished because they're insane. They should be punished.
In Canada, there was a man who fell asleep on a bus going from one point to another.
All right.
The guy next to him, when he fell asleep, cut his head off.
I heard about that story.
Okay. He was perfectly sane.
Yeah.
So
he wanted the guy's chair or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and then he went and tried to stab others and paraded around the bus with the head and the blood. And so, I mean, this man that you're talking about that shot down this child is sane. He knew his actions. What he wanted was attention. And then the insanity plea will come later because of the shock value it does to the system. And, and to be chastised for it, yes, if you were a devout Christian, you are to forgive that behavior when they come and attack and kill your poor mother and cut her head off. That's just not in my portfolio. It's not in your portfolio. So it's a very slippery slope.
I'm not sure if you're a Satanist or if you're someone who just practices black magic.
That could be it too. My definition is broad, and the energy that you talk about, that is what I would say Satan is one solid force, one pure energy that does permeate the universe. I think it's just coy to play with definitions possibly, but I do think that there is inherent evil with humanity, and that's where we might diverge.
True.
So,
do you believe in life after death?
There is and can be, yes.
And reincarnation?
Yes, that can occur as well.
When one dies, when an evil person dies, and I don't mean you, not that kind of
right,
but a real despicable human being, what do you think happens to them? What happens to that soul?
Well, it can be devoured by other forces, other energies that are there. Even going into some of the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. I mean, there's a lot. In dealing with evil, per se, there's other evil out there, and usually it unifies with itself. And it incarnates. It does come back, and it comes back on this planet and others. So our dilemma is not just of Gaia. It deals universally. And there's, the aliens, there are aliens that are of our same nature and probably worse, and they've embraced a lot of other dark behavior.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think merely because an alien race might be so advanced in terms of time and years that necessarily makes them any more benevolent than we are.
No, altruism doesn't exist.
If anything, they're probably smarter, and they figured out a way to take advantage of us.
And they take advantage of themselves.
Probably so. Do you pray?
Mentally, yes. Yeah, you could say there is a form of prayer there. There is a form of psychic connection to this source, the satanic source for me, that makes things work for me. And kind of gets those doors opened up and those parking spaces found when I need it.
The devil that tempted Jesus, do you believe that entity is real?
Yes.
Okay.
And Jesus was real too, but he wasn't what people think he was. He was crucified for a lot of different reasons. and it was carried on after that.
Let's talk, if we can, about tapping into this force, whatever it is. Do you think a good person and well, gosh, it's so difficult because
you can word it any way you want.
I wish you were really evil because it would make it easier to go after you.
Right.
But you're not. But maybe,
I'm not evil, like hurting individuals.
No,
for the
you don't.
sake of
You
hurting.
don't do that.
That is evil, but that is a different form. There's a different levels to this.
I mean, if you were running a car lot and you could sell this poor old lady, we're picking her again. If you could sell her a lemon car, would you?
No.
How come?
The reason being is I am too close to it, and it would, in current times, come back to me, and this woman would come with her family or her attorney, and the liability is too much.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I am not interested in jerking people around. I don't do one-on-one, but I will take down a corporation.
Good point. Now tell me, how would you do that?
In what regard? In taking down a corporation?
Yeah, I mean...
Just getting close to the people inside. You just getting close to the people inside it through temptations and other things.
And destroy them from within.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
On purpose?
It's like a government. Yeah, in government.
But now, they would have had to have done something for you to do that. I don't think you wake up in the morning and say...
Exactly. And it's actually easier than taking down an individual, to be honest, because you can work with groupthink.
Now, would you take down a corporation that you knew was polluting the planet?
Probably not.
Okay. I mean, what horrendous things would they have to do for you to want to go after?
It would have to involve me directly. There would have to be some kind of smite from a larger sense against me.
I see.
Attorneys, I know a lot of them, and attorneys are dark creatures.
So the old saying, an eye for an eye, is you.
Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I guess it is, yes, to be completely honest, and I try to be. Yeah.
Do you believe in the book of Revelation, End Times?
It's an interesting book. There's a lot of code to it. So, yes, I do think that in certain symbols it does exist, yes.
Tell me about this black magic. I mean, do you conjure up things? Do you have potions and things like that?
Black magic works in the level of the extension of your own power, your own soul. Let's say that someone smited you, like they went and took your little girl, and you can't find the little girl, and you don't know or whatever, but you find this suspect and you can't get to him. Okay, this is how black magic would work.
Because he's protected by the law, you mean?
Protected by the law. He's got gates. Your daughter is dead. You can't get to him.
Right.
Okay, now this is all hypothesis. I don't know if you want to go here. Do you want to go here?
No, let's pick a different case.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, well, I was giving you an example how black magic works. You just make that person fall off that stool. It's sympathetic. You maybe obtain some of his hair. He falls under a car.
Does it work?
It does work.
Is it like voodoo?
It could be, but it's more advanced. Just like we have remote viewing, which is actually the ancient art of clairvoyance. Okay. You could have.
All right, so let's say a guy really, really does something to you.
Okay.
You get a piece of their hair or something. What do you do with it?
You would conjure up a ritual. You would utilize certain symbols, certain dates.
Is there a book for this?
I've written them. Yeah, there are books.
Okay.
In books, but you do a lot of it from memory, incantation, location.
The Book of Black Magic would be one.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Les Treatise de Magica Noire, perfect example.
Is that Latin?
No, it's actually French.
Okay.
I'm a fan of Baudelaire, who was a satanic poet. But yes, I would obtain something of theirs. And if I have that, they're done.
This would be the intent to hurt them, kill them, what?
Intent to kill.
Really?
Injure, yeah, maim.
Have you done that to people?
Yes. Yeah.
Do they realize who's doing it to them?
Usually don't, no. They do not.
And do you ever pull back, or do you just keep going after them?
There's very little fine line. if someone, when I'm talking about, I really have to be crossed. For example, someone would have to take advantage of me or try to do something.
Right.
And to be honest, I haven't had to do this in a long time.
Could you be considered a vigilante?
For myself, I'm not necessarily going out of my way to cast spells for others, no.
Okay, so this is just people who have done you harm.
Possibly, yeah. And some groups of covens that have needed assistance with certain things.
So had our executive producer decided not to put you on with me tonight, you might have...
Not at all.
Got a little lock of her hair.
No, I like her. She's fine. I would never do that for something this petty.
But you could.
I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I told that woman her fate.
How long does it take for that to work?
Probably within 7 days. It begins. You would find the machinations beginning, and it would culminate and usually end in certain circumstances.
What would determine, Winter, the tragedy and the scope of the tragedy? Whether it would be a fatal car crash as opposed to a stomach ache? What determines that?
It's anything. It's anything that goes wrong. It's tripping in the house and land head first into that glass table. It's the brakes not working when you need them. It's sliding around that bend and finding yourself pushed off the road. It's a lot of things. It's utilizing the dark forces. It's the hags of the night.
I guess some people have done this to others, and they might not even have been aware of it, merely by thinking about it.
Projection, yes.
That happens.
And it goes on, and once, if it gets released, it just continues. It goes on and on and on.
And why is this growing now?
People are waking up as the church ethic dies. They're not going to the Christian church or a lot of other churches. Judaism is dying. Their race is dwindling. People are turning to newer things. We had a New Age movement throughout the 60s. It was under the banner of the occult, and now they're seeing it for what it is. And it's growing exponentially. It's growing in odd areas of the world.
Is this Church of Satan, is it organized at this point?
The Church of Satan was organized. It doesn't really it doesn't come into the public spectrum.
Does it have bricks and mortar?
It does not.
Okay.
It does not.
All right, stay with us. We've still got more to go with you, Winter Lake. Winter's websites and also his Facebook site are linked up at coasttocoastam.com. I'm George Norrie, and we'll be right back on Coast to Coast AM.